No, I want a big headstone. I want that thing marked. No, I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery. Most of us would like to be remembered when we're dead, which is pretty much why we use gravestones and headstones. A burial place without a marker was historically a sign of poverty or low social status, so why then would famous actors, historical figures, or technological pioneers be buried in an unmarked grave? As a co-founder of Apple, Steve Jobs is a household name. But did you know that when he died in 2011, he was buried in a secret location? Well, since then, of course, bloggers tracked down the likely site by obtaining his death certificate and finding a freshly covered, unmarked plot in a Palo Alto, California memorial park. If Jobs' body is there, he is joined by other well-known technologists, artists, scientists, and politicians. Bobby Driscoll was a child actor who not only starred in films like Treasure Island, but also voiced Peter Pan in the classic Disney animated feature. As an adult, though, Driscoll turned to drug abuse and criminal activity, dying sadly at the young age of 31 from catastrophic heart failure. Officials couldn't identify Driscoll's corpse, so he was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave. However, a year later, his mother identified Driscoll based on the fingerprints police collected before the burial. And just think about that for a second. His mother identified his dead body from his fingerprints. In the 1600s, Mary Dyer, a Quaker, was an influential advocate for religious freedoms. Even though Quakers were banned from living in Massachusetts at the time, she returned to Boston to speak out against this oppression and was hanged to death. Some thought Dyer was buried in an unmarked grave in the city, but others believe that her body was brought back to her family's farm in Rhode Island. Dyer's execution led to the Rhode Island Royal Charter of 1663, which granted the freedom of religion. But regardless, no one knows for sure where her actual body lies to this day. Saturday Night Live and Animal House star John Belushi died, sadly, in 1982 from a drug overdose and was originally interned in a marked grave on Martha's Vineyard. But his fans liked to party and they littered the site of his tombstone into utter disrepair. Totally not cool. So Belushi's wife was forced to quietly have his remains moved to an unmarked location within that same cemetery. Richard Trevithick was the mechanical engineer who constructed the very first steam locomotive. He died with nothing but his gold watch in 1833, and it's thought that his co-workers even used his watch to pay for a pauper's funeral in which they were his pallbearers. It wasn't until 1902 that a wall plaque was erected near the site, denoting Trevithick's nearby grave. For more interesting unmarked graves, check out our original article at HowStuffWorks.com. But before you go, why don't you let us know in the comments, what do you want on your headstone? And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can remember you forever and ever and ever and ever.
But she changed the world. But you'll never hear about it anywhere but here.
Well, no.
She's in an unmarked grave on the Boston Common. And you know whose grave is marked? Jim Morrison. People fly to Europe to see it. And he wrote horrible music.